Hey there folks, this is GreenXI welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 55. In last episode we made a start on chapter 4 and we had the whole barbecue meal, but it was mostly about introducing Shion back into the arc and Irie and Keiichi having a quick talk about Satoshi really, and Satoko and everything. Let's see exactly what happens now. We found out that we're not actually going to be able to see the game, and why not kick things off with a typo? Why not? Everyone who lost the game dropped out and had to help clean up after the barbecue. Wah! Uh-oh. Shion laughed more uproariously than anyone had ever heard when she saw my loser face. Okay, was my getting bombed out of the game really that funny? Yes. Man oh man, Kai-chan's face. He was like, how can you still call yourself human? She's much less nice to Keiichi this arc by the seams of it. Damn it! I had it all worked out when I brought up the scissors. If only Satoko and Rika-chan hadn't betrayed me. It was going great while we had maintained a united front. But Satoko had been quicker to betray me than I her. She was just a tiny bit better than me. Ugh. I warned you about trusting Satoko. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were unanimously wearing I told you so faces. Incidentally, those two were victims of Satoko's traps pretty early on as well. Damn. I was trying to do well enough to make up for you two. And once again, for the showdown, it didn't matter. Maybe this meant I still couldn't match up to the other members yet. Sounds like it. He always loses. You were gonna have the lowest ranked member of the club play a punishment game, weren't you? Shion remarked as though forcing me to recall something I tried to forget, even for a moment. Is that right? Come to think of it, Maibara-san. When you came up with the punishment game with the president, you looked really heated up. What on earth did you decide on? Earlier, Mion told me to get an Angel Mort uniform ready. Uh-oh. Does that have anything to do with it? Definitely. You told me to get the biggest size I could find. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were giving me these complex, indescribable looks, mixing empathy, pity, and a desire to see something scary all at once. Oh god. All she could do now was laugh. Strangely enough, the more she laughed, the more I felt like it was actually funny. Ah, I lost. You should be used to it. Oh my. Maibara-san, what's the matter? You're smiling, crying, and howling. It's okay, he's just pretending not to like it. He can't hide his excitement at the opportunity to gain valuable experience using the punishment game as an excuse. Oh yeah. Right. Wah. What do you mean valuable experience? I held my head in my hands in agony. My state of mind could be summed up with a 3-letter word. It was... sob. Coach gently put his hands on my shoulders. Was he comforting me? Maibara-san, in times where you must accept hardship, you should imagine that you're a domesticated maid. Thanks. See? Don't sadistic things seem kind of fun now? Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Red in the face and indulging in his imagination, still holding my shoulders, Coach said, "Oh, master," and started twirling around like a ballerina. Oh, dear God, what's wrong with him? I had to wonder what kind of word associations he had going on in his head. At the very least, it was much different than what was in mine. The first thing that comes into mind when I think of domestication certainly isn't maids. Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, your coach is pretty funny. I'm surprised he can even be a coach. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun exchanged glances and answered with dry smiles. Then I added that he was a real nice person most of the time, which is something you'd normally say about a person like that. The coach's questionable revolutions slowed to a stop, then his expression returned to a clear, calm one, almost making what just happened seem like an illusion. He can switch gears way too fast. He can. Then let us start cleaning up. Maibara-san, you seem quite strong. Could you bring the plates over to the wash basins and clean them? Right on it. I hoisted the dirty barbecue plates, each with slimy oil clinging to it, and looked for the wash basins. These are heavy. Where are the wash basins? Over there? Figuring I should make it there before my arms gave out, I headed towards it at a trot. A lot of the adults who had been helping out were using the wash basins, so I gave up and looked for a different set. I asked them, and they told me there were more right by the assembly hall too, so I decided to head that way. Rather than multiple basins, there was just one faucet there. I initially thought it would be too small to wash plates as big as these, but it would probably still be faster than waiting for a faucet to open up back there. I turned the faucet, and water much nicer looking than it gushed forth. I put a plate under the faucet and scrubbed it with my hand to try and rub it clean. It didn't go very well. Here you go, a sponge and dish soap. You can't wash them with just water. It was Shion. She threw a brand new sponge in a container filled with a cleaner to me. Oh, thanks. You're so kind. You should have just put them by the basins and left it to the grown-ups. You're always doing the right thing. I got the feeling that wasn't quite a compliment. I answered her with a forced smile. I was surprised to learn you're the manager for the Hmmmmm fighters. I thought you didn't do stuff like that because it's too much of a bother. Yeah, it's quite a bother. That's why I've stopped showing up entirely. Didn't Coach say he wanted you to come back? You should pay a visit once in a while. If I feel like it, I guess. Shion made it sound like the end of the world could happen before she felt like it. Yeah, whoops. I couldn't keep washing the dishes while preoccupied with conversation, so I decided to take my task seriously. Shion neither offered to help nor got in my way. She just quietly watched the water flowing from the faucet. Alright, I heard something. You were the star player in yesterday's game, weren't you? Wasn't that Satoko? Yeah. Satoko hit the home run, so I think she was the real star player. I didn't know she had those kinds of reflexes. It surprised me. She's totally different from Satoshi-kun. There's not much doubt that all the athletic ability in the family went to her. But I thought he had his own bat and everything. Shion smiled as she spoke, her eyes looking at something far away, betraying her reminiscence. Satoshi-kun? Satoko Hojo's older brother. You know, Satoshi Hojo-kun? Yeah, we know. Alright. You just moved here this year, didn't you, Kei-chan? You wouldn't have ever met him. Well, no, we know he is, though. You heard about him a couple of times. I was a little surprised that Shion knew about Satoshi. Oh, that's why he's questioning. Never met him, but I know a little. After their parents passed away, he transferred to a different school, right? I avoided saying that he ran away from home, and used a slightly more vague words that everyone else did. Transferred? Who said anything like that? I hadn't yet realized that Shion's tone had changed slightly. Well, I mean, who was it then? Yeah, I heard it from someone. That he transferred. Who? You said that because you asked someone, right? Who did I ask? I don't really remember. Even so, he transferred, so that's it, right? Not like there's a problem with it. There is one. Does that mean there's a record of his transfer? To another school? And that someone saw it? Or heard about it? Around that time, I not only noticed how awfully caught up on this Shion was, but also how startlingly dangerous her eyes had begun to look. Uh-oh, things are getting serious. Shion? What's up? You look really serious. Yeah. With that, Shion seemed to realize the expression she was making. She took a deep breath, pretended to fix her hair, and went back to her composed expression from before. I'm sorry. But Kei-chan, you don't know much about Satoshi-kun, so please don't say that he transferred or anything like that. He's only repeating what somebody else said, though. I'm serious. Please. I realized I must have said something I shouldn't have, but I wasn't immediately sure of what I should apologize for, so I just said one safe word for now. Sorry. I just sort of heard he transferred and believed it. Was it actually something else? It was, of course. Preceded by his parents, he had left his sister and run away. But I wanted to try and avoid using the words run away, so I pretended not to know. Upon seeing my flustered reply, Shion realized she was intimidating me and lowered her voice. I'm sorry. I'm not blaming you for anything, Kei-chan. I was being a little harsh. I apologize. I didn't really mind. That was a fib. I was actually a little scared even. Was there something wrong with saying he ran away? Was there some sort of misunderstanding in saying that he transferred? But before I could ask her, she turned on her heel to leave. Hey, Shion. Right, good luck with those. Looks like your plate is last. That's the last one you need to wash. Her final remark reminded me of the dishes I had so easily forgotten about. But yeah, we're starting to get the more serious side of the arc. I mean, it's only touching on it right now, but that's how they always start, innit? So immersed in conversation were we that it got pretty late. I turned the faucet again to get the water flowing faster. Whoosh! I violently scrubbed the plate. When I turned back around, Shion was no longer there. By the time I'd finished washing the plates, most of the other things had been cleaned up. The air had cooled off before I realized it, and as the heat that had stuck with us all day dispersed, a nice breeze started to blow. Okay everyone, can I have your attention? Coach got everyone together to make his closing remarks, and with that, another fun day drew to its close. In the end, Mion ended the game with a magnificent victory. Sadako and Vika-chan, who had laboured so hard to betray me, had fallen into a huge trap afterwards, leaving them frustrated about more than a few things. People who betray others will one day be betrayed themselves. Never been more true, huh? Ma. You're not the one I want to hear that from, Keiichi-san. Rena didn't fall for anyone's tricks. That's why I got second. Second. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'm back. Just got interrupted a bit. Anyway, Rena doesn't buy into lies very easily. She has a sharp wit. I'm surprised. She seems like she would fall for the first lie to come her way. She does seem quite bimbo-ish. Funny you should say that, Keiichi-chan. You desired to prey upon others, and right away you became the prey instead. Make sure you don't fall for those dumb schemes that promise higher returns the more friends you rope in, okay? Yeah. I'll try harder. Sob. Even good friends will lay traps mercilessly and betray everyone in sight once they get into a serious enough game. But despite that, once it's all over, they can feel refreshed and laugh together. It reminded me of how we were all such great friends. Yeah. Anyways, I'm looking forward to Keiichi-san's punishment game. However, can you really implement such a thing? I would think the store manager would have a thing or two to say about it, no? Phew, I remember this bit. I wonder. Maybe Keiichi-kun will be really cute. Cute! I kinda wanna see. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'll trip him up and make him wipe the floor. Ah, that would be great. Why couldn't I win now of all times? Whenever I think I'll definitely win today, and that I'll make someone else play the punishment game, I lose. Is it not enough? Do I not believe hard enough in victory? Oh ho ho. The wailing of the loser tastes like sweet honey. How sad, how sad. Pat pat. This is how you get stronger, Keiichi-kun. It's like I'm looking at Mi-chan from last year. Mi-chan last year? What, did she always lose and moan about it in the past? How very interesting. I didn't know our undefeated President Mion was once like that. No need to talk about that. Mion hastily covered Rena's mouth. Everyone watching burst out laughing. Oh god, we got people watching, have we? Finally, Vika-chan pulled on Sato's sleeve. Okay, we should be going soon. Yeah, it's probably getting dark now. Oh yes, we must go shopping for dinner, mustn't we? I wanted to keep talking like this forever, but it was getting late. We split up with Satoko and Vika-chan and decided to get on our way home. Yay, home time. Alright, bye. See you tomorrow at school. Everyone waved to each other and split up for the short time between now and tomorrow. Okay, let's go. We began walking down the tall staircase leading from the shrine grounds. As the sun started to set, the afternoon's heat began to disappear as though it were never there. Just listening to the chorus of the Higurashi was enough to make me forget about how hot it had been today. Come to think of it, it's still June, huh? We didn't have a rainy season at all this year, like, all of a sudden it's just summer, you know? Well, lucky you. Now that I thought about it, she was right. It was June, the season of long rain, of hydrangeas and snails. I haven't seen a real rainy season since transferring here. According to the weather forecast, it's supposed to get more rainy during the first part of the week. They were warning people about heavy showers. I hope it doesn't rain into Watanagashi. That's right. The rainy season's supposed to be rainy. Rena likes all the rain in the rainy season. That's good on you, Rena. What? So much rain just makes me depressed. Yeah, me too. Now and again I like to look out the window or to, like, open the door and just sit there. I know that might be a bit weird, but just to sit in, like, the door frame and watch the rain and feel a bit of the spray of it. It's nice. Hey, Kei-chan. Huh? Ah. I was a little spaced out, so I was late in answering Mion. I was thinking back to my conversation with her sister. When I said that Satoshi transferred, Shion clearly got angry. She was mad at me for saying something so careless. I mean, it may have been a vague way of skirting around the fact that he ran away from home, but I don't think it was so bad that Shion would need to feel mad about it. No. I wasn't really satisfied with it. I felt like a child, completely ignorant of what he was being scolded for. so my thoughts spilled out of my mouth in a very direct fashion. Let's see if they can answer it. Sadako had a brother, right? Named Satoshi, I think. Excuse me. What? As soon as I said the name Satoshi, Rena and Mion both lost their relaxed, comfortable mood and made strange expressions. Should I have avoided talking about this? That's what they made me think. But I've already said it, so that's that. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested. What happened to Satoshi again? Did he move away? That was such a transparent way of putting it, but in my desire to know everything, I feigned ignorance. Mion turned around and looked to Rena for assistance. Rena looked between us, then quietly and softly spoke. Wait, did we not tell you? He transferred out. When I said those words to Shion, she got upset. So I answered her with the same words Shion had given me. Transferred? Who told you something like that? Huh? I had only intended to borrow Shion's words, but I said it exactly the same way she had, right down to the thorns in my voice. When I realized what I had done, I immediately tried to soften my remark. If he really transferred out, there would be records of it at school and stuff, right? But is there actually anything like that? Mion and Rena, their eyes grew wide. They were at a loss for words. There are wide eyes, bloody hell. I started to feel like I was doing something really bad. I thought they were only hiding the fact that Satoko's older brother ran away out of consideration for her. I'm not trying to blame you for anything, okay? I just wanted to ask what happened to Satoshi, that's all. I wasn't trying to blame them. The fact that I had to remind them even looked like I was tormenting them with an impossible question. No, maybe I was actually bullying them. Maybe I had lashed out at them in retaliation for Shion getting mad at me. This whole day had been so much fun, but now it's got awkward. Why did I go and say something and made all of that meaningless? I couldn't help but regret my own careless curiosity. That's enough. Let's drop it now. As I was about to say that, Mion spoke up. Oh, are we going to get some info? Well, it's not like we were hiding it or lying. I hope you understand that's not what we were trying to do. Mion's tone conveyed a genuine awkwardness. They sounded like the excuses of a child who'd been presented with evidence of her own mischief. Satoshi, well, he didn't transfer schools, Mion said, resigning herself. But I felt bad for pushing her to say that. So? It's okay, Mion. Let's stop talking about Satoshi. Sorry for teasing you. I wanted to apologize, but right before that, once again, he won't come back. What? Oh, creepy music. Unlike Mion's stammered reply, Rena was extremely clear and resolute. He won't come back. What? He won't come back home ever since that day. He won't come back. That was a very strange way of putting it. Normally, you would say that he hadn't come back yet. At least, I thought you'd only say it like Rena if he wasn't capable of coming back. You wouldn't say it like that when talking about someone who ran away from home. What do you mean he won't come back? Where did Satoshi go? Dunno. Rena's word choice felt very cold to me. It was so cold that I couldn't muster a response right away. Well, she's right. After that day, Satoshi hasn't returned home. Mion noticed the deadlock between us and hurriedly followed up on what Rena had said. Oh, I'm gonna cough. Well, that is, everyone in the village searched for him, and we even got the police to help us look. Well, they started thinking that maybe he ran away. When running away from home, I thought he was supposed to leave a note or something. So when Satoshi ran away, he would probably have left some kind of a letter apologizing to Sadako. Ow, ow. That was just kind of what I figured. But from the way Mion was talking, it seemed a little different than just running away from home. The police did an investigation. Satoshi had been earning money at a part-time job and had some put aside, and they learned that on the day he vanished, he withdrew it all. And then, at Nagoya Station or something, they spotted someone who looked a lot like Satoshi. It does sound like he's run away. He withdrew all his savings to fund his escape from home. Was that it? It seemed consistent enough to me. But before he could say anything, I think that's a lie. Satoshi-kun didn't run away, declared Rena shortly. Hey, wait. So if he didn't transfer schools, or move away, and he didn't run away from home, then what on earth? Stop it, Rena, Mion whispered to her. Rena, however, continued without interruption. And then she said this. Because it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. Here it comes, folks. Here it comes. Huh? A curse? It took some time before I understood what Rena meant by that. Mion clicked her tongue and shook her head a little. Satoshi talked to me before he disappeared. He said someone was watching him. Oh god, look at her eyes. I only just noticed they changed. That creeped me out. Stalking him. They even followed him home. He told me that when he went to bed, they were standing there at his bedside, looking down at him. Stop it, Rena. It's a portent of Oyashiro-sama's curse, there's no doubt. I think, somewhere deep down, Satoshi-kun was probably thinking about abandoning Hinamizawa and running away. And Oyashiro-sama wouldn't allow that. I said stop it. Oyashiro-sama is the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. He would never allow anyone to abandon Hinamizawa and run away. I apologized for it. But Satoshi-kun probably didn't. Oh shit, she changed again. It must have been Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oyashiro-sama's curse? I hadn't intended to repeat it. But the words came out of my mouth anyway. Oyashiro-sama's curse. The police may have said he ran away, but I don't believe it. I won't believe it, not ever. It's just a lie told by the self-important people in the village who don't want to admit it was the curse. And whether or not you believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse, it's... Wham! God. Smack to the head, was it? Mion struck Rena in the head. Yep. And not in a joking way either. Oh no. I told you to give it a rest, didn't I? I tried to be nice, but you're pushing me to my limits. Pushing her to her limits? Actually, there was plenty of displeasure and anger in Mion's face at that moment. For a few moments after being hit, Rena looked astonished. Perhaps the voices of the Higurashi calmed her frantic mind, because after a little while, she regained her original calm expression. Oh dear God. Things are definitely going to start soon. If they haven't already. We arrived at the place we always split up with Mion. No one said a word until we got there. The voices of the Higurashi just tortured our ears with their buzzing. We'd always split up with Mion here, leaving just Rena and me. Hey Keiichi, didn't I promise to lend you some manga? Want to come over real quick? I don't really fancy it right now. Huh? She promised that? However, I quickly realised it was a convenient way of saying she wanted to talk to me alone. Oh, I see. Okay then, Rena will go home. Maybe she realised it, maybe she didn't. Thankfully, Rena quickly said she'd go home before us. Bye, Rena. See you tomorrow. Yup. See you tomorrow. Keiichi-kun, don't be too much of a bother now. It's already evening. I'm just gonna borrow a few books. See ya. Considering the fun day we had, it was a very insipid, lonely parting. Okay, what'd she want? Hey, don't worry too much about before. After a little while, Mion finally spoke. Quite some time had passed since splitting up with Rena. No, I'm not really. I think it was my fault anyway. We weren't trying to hide anything about Satoshi. It's just one of those things that we shouldn't mention, you know? At this point, I understood exactly what she meant by that. Judging by our odd interactions with Rena, I understood so well it hurt that I shouldn't ever talk about it again. Actually, if that's the case, then was she on too? No, this is a bigger problem. Talking about it in the first place had been indiscreet. I shouldn't have been interested in it at all. But that's where I really had to think about it. About why everyone got so irritated. Idiot! Stop this, Keiichi Maibara. By the time I tried to warn myself, I had accidentally spoken already. I won't ask ever again, so could you tell me honestly, what on earth happened to Satoshi? He ran away, right? For a long time, Mion remained silent, but finally, unable to endure it any longer, she began to speak timidly. Have you ever heard about Oyashiro-sama's curse? Yeah, just now. Just a little bit. I got the gist of it. I only overheard someone in class talking about it though. Oh, okay. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the deity protecting Hinamizawa, that they worship at the shrine we had the barbecue at today. It's going to go over this stuff now, innit? And a few years ago, when they started talking about flooding Hinamizawa as part of the dam project, one of the people worked on site died or something, and people blamed it on Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's how it was. Satoshi's dead parents. They were proponents of the dam project. Wasn't everyone in the village against it? Why would they support the project if they lived here? The dam project that would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. I'd heard the village all got together to fight the terrible project, but it was a little hard to believe there were villagers who were supporting it. Well, there was a lot of stuff going on, but not everyone agreed to stand up to the dam proposal. Satoshi's parents were basically the leaders of those who were all for it. Leaders of the ones for it? Satoko and Satoshi's parents? Yeah. The government had gathered a lot of compensation money to exchange for the construction of the dam. There were plenty of people who agreed with the proposal because they wanted the money. Oh, that's why. Aside from a few households, Hinamazawa was, in general, not very affluent, and not because they were proud to inherit the land of their ancestors. It wouldn't be strange if some people wanted enough money to start a new life. But even in that case, they would have had to hesitate to say so, given the situation. It just happened to be Satoko and Satoshi's parents who understood that and stood up to be their representative. By that standard, you might say Satoko and Satoshi's parents were very heroic. They volunteered to be hated, all to help those without much money who didn't have a voice. I can see that reasoning. And then, their parents had bad luck. They died in an accident on the day of the festival honouring Oishiro-sama. So people started to think that maybe it had been Oishiro-sama's curse. I thought back to what Coach told me today. They went to a nature park on a family outing and fell from a cliff. So, people thought even Satoshi running away from home was because of Oishiro-sama's curse? Well, yeah. Basically, it was a bit of an evasive reply, but I felt it was wrong to ask any further, so I didn't press her for details. I don't think I need to explain this, but for Satoko, her parents' accident, and Satoshi running away, and all the business about Oishiro-sama's curse, none of it's a very happy story, you know. Yeah, of course I knew. I could only nod silently. That's why we're not mentioning anything about Satoko's family. Even if someone asks about Satoshi, we just lie and say he transferred schools. You can understand why, right? They wanted to protect Satoko's happiness, her smile. As someone who thought that way once, even for a short time, I really did regret having been imprudent enough to broach the topic to begin with. Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry I asked something so careless. When she heard that, Mion smiled, seeming a little relieved. With that understanding, thinking that I should get going, I began to make my way home. I could really have stopped by Mion's house, but it was already late. I'd stop by again next time I had the chance. Get the manga next time. Bye then, Mion. Sorry about today. See you tomorrow. Yeah, it ended up happy in the end. Except for Rena. Who knows what's going on with Rena? Yeah, goodbye. We waved to each other. Then suddenly, remembering something, Mion called out to me. Kai-chan, one more thing. Not only around Sadako, could you keep quiet about Satoshi with Rena too? Oh. I think you realized earlier, but for some reason, when it comes to Oishiro-sama's curse, she gets extremely serious. Ever since she transferred here. Yeah, judging by how Rena was acting earlier, it was clearly no laughing matter to her. Mion had interrupted the conversation for us, but if Mion hadn't been here, what might have happened? She did go a bit nuts. Why would Rena be so serious about it? Not only Rena either, but Shion too. I don't know. Rena is... Oh, this is a secret, okay? If you tell anyone, we're not friends anymore. Mion emphasized this as her expression clouded even further. I won't tell. What's this about Rena? She says she's been a victim of Oishiro-sama's curse before. Well, it may sound mean, but I think it might be a bad case of a persecution complex, or some kind of wrong assumption. But she says so herself, so I believe her. If I poke fun at it, she gets pretty upset. Rena jokes around all the time, but she's really scary when she's mad. We have noticed that. I get it. Don't talk about it in front of Rena, right? About Satoshi. Yeah. If possible, I think we shouldn't talk about this ever again. For her sake. And for Satoko's. For everyone else's too. And if I must say, for your own sake too, Kai-chan. With her silence, Mion made sure I knew that. Yeah, okay. I got it. Thanks. Saying only that, she waved her hand and began walking away. I watched her go a little dazed, and then started walking myself. Satoko's older brother, Satoshi. Had he run away from home? Or had he been a victim of a curse and disappeared forever? Whichever the case, none of this was anything I should have asked about. The cooling air forced me into self-reflection. I wanted Satoko to smile, yet my curiosity easily defeated me, and I frivolously tried to step into the dark side of things in a joking way. I'm shameful. I wanted today to be exactly like yesterday. I wanted tomorrow to be just as fun as today too. So why did I go and do something like that? We were having a blast at the baseball game yesterday, and today we had a blast at the big barbecue party too. It was a lot of fun. But then I went and almost nullified all those fun times. But to be fair, he didn't know anything was wrong. I would have to be more careful starting tomorrow. I would put all this unpleasant stuff behind me forever. Like hell, I'm gonna let my enjoyable life end because of how careless I was today. But the more I thought that I'd be more careful starting tomorrow, the more I couldn't get rid of the ominous thought that I had already put an end to those enjoyable days with what I'd just done. I don't like it when he says that sort of thing. Hey wait, calm down Keiichi, my bar. The gears of destiny are freaking gigantic, aren't they? What happened just now was trivial. It was. It doesn't make any sense to think my life will be totally different starting tomorrow. We might think it, seeing the other arcs and everything, but he doesn't know. But even though I understood it logically, the mist in my heart wasn't going to fade, until tomorrow turned out to be as fun as today. It's only a bit of an argument, it's fine. I'm acting weird. I'm thinking a little too much about that conversation. Yeah, exactly. I wish tomorrow would come already. I wanted it to make me understand how absurd my insignificant doubts really were. The night was long. That went really quick actually. That's like half hour long and it went really quick. It's nice so far. We got a bit of creepiness in this chapter part, or this episode. And I like that. 3 new tips. Okay, we'll make a start then. Well, we'll see them all. What's that? Mystery meat. Mystery meat and a kebab. Yeah, I'm wondering if they're hinting at something there. Anyway, the slacking manager. We know what this is about. She can't be asked to go to her games. Shion-san, why don't you help out a little? You're asking a girl to carry something heavy? This is why you still haven't found a nice lady at your age, coach. Well, you see, at times like these, here's what people say. It's none of your business. He was loading the station wagon with heaps of equipment we'd used for today's barbecue meeting. All the fathers and sons who had helped were starting to get on their way. Alright, so Shion-san, why did you come all the way here? If you rode here on your bike, I can give you a lift. I did, but I'll be fine riding back. I appreciate your consideration. I was glad you came today. Things don't quite fit together without the manager here. Am I still the manager? I've been shirking my duty for an entire year, so maybe you should just fire such an incompetent manager already. Yeah, probably should. Alright. If you say you want to quit, then I'll fire you whenever you want. Grr. That's not fair. Let me go soon, please. Every time I don't show up at a game, I get an annoying phone call, and I can't stand those. If you were more honest with yourself, Shion-chan, you'd be far cuter. Your father is so sad. Where did he go so wrong as to deserve such a rebellious daughter? Oh, perhaps if your father catches you in a big loving embrace, you'll open your eyes? Well then, don't mind if I do. Come here. Oh God, Coach was fooling around with all his might, but Shion just smiled into the distance without responding. Nothing's changed. You're still a weirdo, Coach, and everyone's still lively as ever. Even though Satoshi-kun isn't here. Is that what he wanted to say? He'll come home. I'm sure of it. He has someone waiting for him. Humph. Say whatever you want. He sure is cruel, isn't he? Going off to who knows where, leaving such a cute girlfriend behind? Hint. There we go. Found something new out about Shion and Satoshi. It's worth watching these things, or reading these things. Huh? Girlfriend? Who? Who? Huh? Jeez, quit laughing already. Coach. He was taking the piss. They wasn't in a relationship. Coach bent over and laughed heartily for a little while. We'll see each other again. Please come and root for us once in a while, okay? If I feel like it. I have no desire to be the manager anymore after all. Such a crafty smile. Look at her. That's fine. If you don't like it, I'll fire you. I'm not the kind of person who likes forcing people to do things against their will. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. You win this round. If I feel like it, I'll come root for you. So for today, just be patient. Oops, that time already. It's past time to return all this. I'm already making them wait for me. I'll be leaving for today then. Let's meet again at the next game. Yes, if I feel like it. Goodbye, coach. Such a weird manager. Ghost manager is right. Okay, what we've got next. Copy of the preliminary autopsy. Oh shit, is this of the parents? The autopsy suggests the victim was killed in the following manner. Satoko's parents. 1. Entire body bound in restraints. Traces left behind from when the body seemed to have been bound indicated usage of a specific restraining table, rather than rope or another common method. Finger joints on either hand appear to have been bound especially tightly. Highly likely that the table was either specially made or homemade given this information. I don't know who this is. 2. Both ears and nose severed with a sharp blade. Ugh. Traces of the restraint and other things seem to suggest there was at least one more other than the one who severed these body parts holding down the victim's head. There were a couple of them. Possible that multiple blades were used, with one of them most likely being scissors or shears. 3. 5 nails penetrated fingers on each hand. 1 long nail stuck in each joint of each finger on each hand for a total of 30. The deceased's fingers were nailed to wooden planks 20 square centimeters large. Extremely likely these planks were part of the restraining table. In addition, it's likely that the table was originally designed for just such a purpose. 4. Abdomen incised, intestines removed. The incision in the abdomen is likely to have been a technique grounded in medical methodology using a sharp blade. Estimated that there was still no threat to the victim's life at this stage. After this, the organs inside the incision were dismantled and removed. The victim likely died as a result of this process. Removing the organs, why didn't he live? 5. Body disposed. After fastening a dumbbell to the victim's neck using a commercial pet collar, the victim was likely abandoned in the Uji River's third drain. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, it's highly possible they would have needed at least 3 grown men to have disposed of the body. 2. Oishi-san. The first we've heard about the police guy. Here's a copy of the preliminary autopsy of the slaughtered corpse in the Uji River. Oh, remember at the start of the arc there was a corpse found in a drain or something. That's what it was meant to be, but I'm not sure who it was meant to be. Chief Shigeharu sees this as having a possible relation to the S group. What are your thoughts, Oishi-san? Oh wow. I wonder who it's meant to be though. I think I might have an inkling, but I don't want to say anything quite yet. Anyway, third and final, East Round 3. There it is, Ron. Ron? 3 Chun, 3 Dora, Mangan, with 1,500 extra. I don't have a clue what he's talking about. What? What's up with that? How'd you have 3 Dora? You idiot. Oh, is it, Mahjong? I don't have a clue of the terms of that, but the police were playing that before, wasn't they? You're the one who flipped over another Kandora when you knew Ushi was in Tenpai. That's what you get. Getting more Dora was the only thing I could do after revealing the Chun. You can't discard a Dora tile after a Yakuhai is out. Ushi grinned meaningfully as his buddies, swearing, began breaking down the walls and reforming them. By the way, Ushi-san, figure it out yet? What? Oh, the murdered body in the drainage channel. Any new clues coming up? Yes, well, you're the one collecting the evidence here. I should have expected that. Who was the deceased? Rena Mamaya. Rena. Actual name, Noriko. Apparently she worked for the Blue Mermaid, a hostess bar on Shishibone Flower Road. Just a random person then, is it? Oh wow, that place, huh? A young leader of the Sonozakis owns it. Yeah? Sonozakis. Sonozaki, whoops. So it's related to the S group. Oh, that's where the S group is, Sonozaki group. That mountain will be tough to scale. Rumors say the deceased had her hands in both drug dealing and money to be paid to the government. And on a pretty significant scale too, from what I've heard. A woman getting her hands on Yakuza with tax money. Sounds like a man's behind it. Not a lot of women do that sort of thing themselves. Well, she's dead now. The dead can't have anything to do with it. About that, Ushi-san, her man's apparently alive. Alive? Then maybe he'll die soon. Vermin usually exterminate other vermin. I think we have a very nice self-cleansing system going on. That's not nice, they're still human, but yeah. Anyway, her man. It's, well, Tepai Hojo. Oh yeah? We'll learn more about Tepai. Yes, we will. Hojo? Who's that? Tepai Hojo, the husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year in Hinamazawa. I heard he disappeared after the incident, though. I get it. He was staying at his lover's place, huh? And so, the Sonozakis grew ever more suspicious. Where's he now? He was living in a woman's apartment. He must have thought she abandoned him, so he's been searching around shops and other gathering places. Oh. So, yeah, you really want to check out these tips, don't you, to get some extra info. Anyway, that's about it for today, I think. This has been Greeny XI. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit when we go for chapter 5. And we've seen already things are about to get a little bit more involved. Oh yeah, the beginning and opening. A while ago, a couple of episodes ago, I started adding the opening, bits of the opening for the start of an episode and the end of an episode of this series. And they're from that opening, those parts of the opening are from the anime. I was just wondering, do they make a difference? I like putting them in. They make it seem a bit more of a unique series than everybody else's, maybe. That's what I was thinking. And I like the bit of music and colour at the start and end as well. It adds a bit more to the game, I think. But maybe that's just me, and I'd love a bit of feedback if possible. Anyway, I'll leave you to what I was just talking about. The bit of anime opening. Thanks for watching, folks. See you again in a bit.